Some objects carry a weight far beyond their size. Consider the diamond engagement ring, a symbol of love, hope, and a shared future. Its sparkle is meant to mirror the light in a lover's eyes, a testament to devotion. But what if that brilliance hides a shadow? Every diamond has a history, sometimes marked by desperation and violence. A symbol can be corrupted, its meaning twisted by the actions that brought it into being. The same ring that brings joy can also be a monument to loss and deceit. We often see only the polished surface, ignoring the darkness that may lie beneath. A ring can tell two stories, one of romance, the other of its true hidden cost. It sits on a finger, a beautiful facade that may conceal a terrible secret. The brightest lights can cast the darkest shadows. This is the dual nature of the symbols we cherish. Mark Jensen seemed to embody romance. To Sarah, he was the perfect partner, thoughtful, attentive, always surprising her with gestures of love. But behind the scenes, Mark was drowning in debt, desperate to maintain the illusion of the ideal boyfriend. He worked a modest job, but his expenses far outpaced his income. The pressure to provide was crushing, yet he couldn't bring himself to confess his struggles to Sarah. Admitting failure would shatter the image he'd built. So he kept his secret, hoping for a miracle to fix everything. Every romantic gesture added to his burden. The idea of proposing became both a dream and a final act to secure his role. But a proposal required a ring, one he couldn't afford. The symbol of love became an obsession, and Mark felt trapped by the expectations he'd created. He needed a solution, no matter the cost. The pressure to propose grew unbearable. Mark saw friends flaunt diamond rings online, each one a reminder of what he couldn't give Sarah. He convinced himself that only a spectacular ring would prove his worth. But the rings he wanted were far beyond his means. Desperation took hold, and he began to consider the unthinkable. He rationalized that a quick robbery would be a victimless crime. He targeted a local convenience store, planning every detail. Mask, gloves, a fake gun. He believed no one would get hurt. It was just one act, he told himself, to save his future with Sarah. He wasn't a criminal, just a man in love pushed to the edge. The plan felt unreal, like a scene from a movie. But Mark's resolve hardened. He would do whatever it took. The line between love and desperation had blurred beyond recognition. The night of the robbery was cold and silent. Mark, heart pounding, entered the store, masked and armed with a fake gun. The elderly owner looked up, fear in his eyes. Mark demanded money. The owner complied, hands shaking. But as the cash was handed over, the owner pressed a silent alarm. Mark grew impatient, demanding more. The owner, emboldened, fought back with a flashlight. The fake gun fell, revealing itself as a toy. Panic and rage overtook Mark. In the struggle, Mark shoved the owner, who fell and struck his head. Silence followed, broken only by Mark's ragged breaths. The owner lay motionless, blood pooling on the floor. Mark stared in horror. His plan had ended in tragedy. He had crossed a line he could never uncross. The cost of his desperation was now a life lost. Shaking, Mark grabbed the cash and fled into the night. The stolen money felt like burning coals in his pockets. He had wanted a symbol of love, but paid for it with a life. The next day, Mark moved through life like a ghost, haunted by guilt. News of the murder filled the air. Mark avoided Sarah's questions. The blood money sat hidden, a constant reminder of his crime. Driven by desperation, he used part of it to buy the perfect ring. The jewelry store's bright lights felt accusatory. He paid in cash, the bills tainted by violence. The ring was flawless, but Mark felt only detachment. It was supposed to represent a future, but was born from darkness. He had the ring, but its true cost was a secret he could never escape. The price of his promise was far higher than he'd ever imagined. Mark chose a perfect evening for the proposal. Sunset in the botanical garden. He led Sarah to a secluded bench, rehearsed words tumbling out. He spoke of love and a future together, but every word was built on a lie. Sarah's eyes filled with tears of joy, unaware of the darkness behind his smile. Mark knelt, opening the velvet box. The diamond blazed in the fading light. Sarah gasped, overwhelmed by the ring's beauty. She saw only love and devotion, not the secret it concealed. She said yes, tears streaming down her face. Mark slid the ring onto her finger, a perfect fit. Relief and despair washed over him. The ring was not just jewelry, it was a shackle. Their beautiful moment was a lie, the symbol of their love now, an emblem of his sin. Mark had secured his future, but at a terrible cost. The weight of the ring would haunt him forever. The murder investigation stalled. No witnesses, no fingerprints. But the cash used for the ring was all new, sequential bills, traceable to the robbery. The jeweler, suspicious, reported the transaction and noted the serial numbers. When police asked for help tracking the bills, the jeweler provided his records. Detective Miller took notice. The serial numbers matched the stolen money. The purchase of a $20,000 ring in cash stood out. Security footage showed Mark making the purchase. The detectives now had a clear lead. Mark's carefully constructed world began to unravel. The symbol of his love was about to become the evidence of his crime. The truth was closing in. Detectives arrived at Mark and Sarah's door, asking about the ring. Mark's composure crumbled under questioning. He tried to lie, but the evidence was overwhelming. Sequential bills, jeweler's testimony, security footage. Sarah listened in horror as the truth emerged. The mention of the murder broke Mark. He confessed everything. Debt, desperation, the robbery, the fatal struggle, all spilled out. The money for the ring was soaked in blood. Sarah's world shattered. The man she loved was a stranger. The ring on her finger became a grotesque reminder of tragedy. Joy turned to revulsion and heartbreak. The truth had destroyed them both. The symbol of their love was now a monument to a terrible crime. No one was set free. All were imprisoned by Mark's choices. Objects are just objects until we give them meaning. We pour our hopes and dreams into them, transforming them into symbols. Mark's actions corrupted the engagement ring, staining it with death and deceit. The beautiful diamond became ugly, its story forever changed. The ring was taken as evidence, its brilliance dimmed in a police lockup. For Sarah, heartbreak replaced hope. The memory of the proposal became a source of pain. The love was real, but the foundation was a nightmare. Symbols are shaped by our choices and truths. A beautiful object can mask a dark secret. The engagement ring became, forever, an emblem of sorrow.